Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you all doing? I can see it in your faces and in your smiles. I know that when we are on Zoom, it's one of the things that I realize is that we all can't talk at the same time, which is okay. But before I go any further, I am Nikki Powerhouse. Welcome. Thank you for showing up this morning with me on Workshop Wednesdays. And today is talking about gratitude. And baby, listen here, y'all. I'm a transparent person, and in the process of preparing for gratitude, I've learned more and more about what that living in gratitude really means and what it means to our everyday living. I find that, gratitude is one of those things where it gives us permission to recognize what we have, that we have all that we need at all times. And that's a beautiful place to stay. And that's a beautiful, beautiful place to live through, because gratitude really grounds us into like being and just living in a sense of knowing that all things are working for my highest good. I am an actress, a performer, a playwright, a poet, a dancer, and all through my experiences in being in the art world, I found that my lessons that I had to learn more deeper. And I had to learn that a lot of what I do is not just for, it's entertainment and it's something that I love to do, but it's really about what I'm learning and the lessons that I'm learning. And what I would like to do for this session is to not only just talk about gratitude or in our own individual understanding, but what we learn from gratitude and what we learn from gratitude and how we can kind of apply gratitude in how we see the world, how we see ourselves, how to create more gratitude to attract more. And I think that gratitude is the foundation to abundance. The more that you are grateful for what you have, the more that you're grateful for what is to come, the more that you're grateful for what you acknowledge is the more that you invite and you tell the Most High in the universe, I want more. So I'm going to start with the chat, and I want you guys, I call this a gratitude inbox. So I want you guys to write out the sentence, and we're going to start with, I am grateful. And go, just like let it flow, let the chat room, and it's only about 5 or 6 of us in here, but let the chat room kind of like be used as a space where all the things that you're grateful for in this moment, in this right now moment, and just like allow you can write the whole sentence out. I'm grateful for, and I'll just start. So you guys just join me and just kind of like, that's my way of, we can all talk at the same time without interrupting. So just kind of, and I'll read some of them off. Ashe, oh, I'm grateful for my family and morning texts. I'm grateful for my home. Yeah, so I'm grateful for working at MCC. I'm grateful for four-leggers. I'm gonna think that's the dog. Yes, I'm grateful for my cat Dio. Facts, yes. Uh, I'm grateful for health insurance. I say. I'm grateful for my coworkers. I'm grateful for my children and family. I'm grateful for facing my fears. I'm grateful for family. I'm grateful for my team. So as we recognize all the things that we are grateful for, let's see here. What do you guys see? What are the themes that you just coming up in that chat room? And anybody can speak on it. What are the things that we are seeing in that chat room based on what we're all as a collective is grateful for?
I kind of see like everybody's grateful for the things that make them feel safe and protected.
I thought was that often we think that when we talk about gratitude, it has to be something big.
Yeah.
And really, sometimes it's even the little things that we have to remember to be grateful for.
I agree. I kind of see a pattern in, people being grateful for, their loved ones and their, the people around them and the people who have probably been the closest to for the last 2 years.
Okay, very good.
I also see most of the things people are grateful for are not things that money can buy.
Exactly.
That is one of the beautiful things about having this conversation now, especially post-pandemic, especially everything that has transpired in post-pandemic, as well as what our own personal life was prior to the pandemic in itself. What we all can agree on is that how we keep going in our gratitude is recognizing all the things that impacts us and that feeds us and showing up. One of the things that when we realize is that gratitude is not something that you can buy. It is a sense of feeling and well-being. I started this one time, during this time that I was preparing, I started this on my Instagram page it was called Grateful Truths. And what I've realized is that gratitude, not only just for what the things and the people around us, but gratitude and awareness of things that are truthful to me. And one of the things I said is that gratitude is the blueprint to my well-being. And that's the foundation. So, and I think that that's the beautiful thing about what being in this conversation is, to recognize, where do you live from? What keeps you going no matter what is happening or the things that is coming in our way, but how do we ground ourselves in gratitude? One of the other things I would like to address is gratitude as it relates to your self-esteem. One of the things I acknowledge that gratitude that I'm able to face my fears. And I think acknowledging that, then it takes away a lot of the power that I personally may have given my fears. So it's like gratitude that I'm able to face the fears. So when I talk about well-being, I'm talking about how we see and feel about ourselves. And that's when I'm going to, in terms of gratitude and self-esteem. So I asked a question to you guys: how have you used, or how do you feel is important for gratitude to speak to your own self-esteem and how you see yourself and how you live through your own your own understanding of your own self-esteem. Yay. Y'all all thinking. Sheo. Sheo.
I think it's like Steph said in the comments, you know, when you're having a bad day, just remembering the little things or remembering how far you've come. For me, it's remembering some of the challenges that I've overcome and being grateful for where I am today. Even if it's not where I want to be, it's just, I've overcome so much and I'm further than I was yesterday. Sometimes I say like my goal is to be better than I was yesterday. That's the one goal. So I think it's just reminding yourself, and that really helps on those difficult days.
Yeah.
Excellent, 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 excellent. Before I chime in, anybody else wanted to say something?
I like what Leslie said in the comments. She said, being grateful helps me do more for others. I could agree. I could agree.
Excellent. And when you are doing more for others, it is an opportunity for the gratitude is in the overflow. So that in which you're giving to others is coming from a full body experience, a full being of being grateful for what all that you have and all that you inspire for. And just like Christine, you had said that I may not have what I want, but the reality of it is that the fact that you even have the thought to want it is gratitude. To have the idea in mind is gratitude. To know that I can create it at any given moment is gratitude. And that's the beauty in and being in that space is allowing or bringing about to inspire others and to help others. Because when you come from a full cup, it's in the overflow that you're giving from. It's like, I'm full. I want everybody else to live in that fullness. And I think, like I said, that's why I think that it's so important to have this conversation with ourselves and with our community, because especially in these last 2 years, we have really had to get real quiet in what we have, what can be taken away, and whether or not, one of the things that Wayne Dyer, rest in peace, he once said that be open to everything and attached to nothing. And one of the greater things that I look when I hear that quote is, that being said, like, life is this ebb and flow, and it's like being wide open and being clear that all the good and all the good that is to come your way, that you're aligned with, is yours, is already yours. So the gratitude in advance is already like, it's already setting it in motion. When we talk about self-esteem and we talk about gratitude, I want you guys to say something to yourself, and then I want you to either respond in the chat or respond to, speak out loud. One of the things I created also in the process is remembering gratitude as it being something to give myself permission. And I'll say this, and then you guys can repeat it and say it up. I have everything I need at all times. I have everything I need at all times. And when you say that, think about what comes up. What are the thoughts come up? What are the images? What are the feelings? I have everything I need at all times. 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 So when you guys are ready, or any of you are ready, so we're going to go into the chat. Excellent. I have everything I need at all times.
I think it makes me think just self-reliance that, that I have all the tools I need to kind of figure it out. And really, it's really the only thing we carry through our life is what we have inside of us.
I see.
So,
Mhm.
it's the only constant really throughout our
Mhm.
life.
Mhm.
So it has to be enough in a way, but it is a very empowering, self-reliant thought to just know, like, I have what I need and I can figure this out my next step,
I see.
or to build a life or to do whatever.
I see. Stephanie said, thank you, Mo. Stephanie said the first thing that comes to mind is I am enough. Would you be able to express that, what that means to you?
Yeah, sure. So, like I said, when, as you were reciting it, the first thing that came to mind is, I am enough. I can, do all the things that I set my mind to and accomplish my goals. And I don't need outside validation all the time. And I don't need outside sources to make me feel like I'm enough, because I am. And another thing, the second thought that came to mind is I'll never be given more than what I could handle,
I see.
right? So I'd always have the tools that I need for the challenges that I face, because everybody's journey and everyone's path is different. Everyone's challenges, even the way people feel and handle their challenges, are different, right? I might panic over something that you might be totally calm over and be able to just face it head on, where I might take a little longer or I might do it a little differently, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong or bad. It's just different, and it's okay. It's my way. So I am enough, and I'll never be given anything that I can't handle.
Excellent. I think it was another person in the chat. I can face challenges which will come my way. Is that Leslie? Who said that? Ah, very good.
I just have to unmute. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was sort of echoing what Mo said, that I'll be strong enough and bold enough and secure enough to face the challenges that come my way head on. And so, and also echoing what Stephanie said, that I'll be enough to face them gracefully. And I guess we all face them. I think it's facing them gracefully. That's the key. You sort of get the challenges you get, and you have to deal with them in some way, but to do it with grace is the goal.
I see. Very good. Very good. Very good. Rita said, love what you said about tools. I've always received the tools before the challenge. Ah, very good. Just before the challenges. And before I make comment, the biggest issue I need for external validation, I suspect it comes from being a bullying survivor. Is this M. Smith? My biggest issue is I need a need for external validation. I suspect, yeah. Smith, would you be able to elaborate on that for me? Would you be comfortable in doing that? Do I hear you? Are you?
Yeah.
Excellent, 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 excellent. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sure.
Having been bullied like late in grade school, I felt invalid. And therefore,
Okay, Michael, go ahead. You got it.
I felt as if there was something wrong with me. to make me such a target for bullying.
Right.
Mhm.
Therefore, it sent a message to me that I was not enough.
Mm. Ashe. Ashe.
Yeah.
Thank you. That in that comment is gratitude, because I can relate tremendously.
Mhm.
I can relate to understanding that seeking validation outside of myself. And like what you all have said about knowing that I have everything I need. And maybe in the people in those times that was hurting, and I believe that people that hurt oftentimes are not connected to all the things that they're not aware of what they are.
Mhm.
They're not aware of the beauty and the power in themselves.
Yep.
So the awareness of what was created out of that bullying is gratitude, because now you know you have all that you need.
Yep.
And that you are enough now, and you were enough then.
Exactly.
And that beauty and that power, that's gratitude in its beautiful, most powerful.
Mhm.
When I speak to external validation, when I speak about that, I speak about a lot of it in my one-woman show that I spoke about last time. And I have a one-woman show called The Art of I Am. And it spoke to a lot of life experiences that often pushed me in believing that I needed something outside of me to give me permission to be me. And the reality of it is, I am enough to telling me that I am all right. I am enough. My validation is enough for me to show up in the world the way that I see myself. That is a validation is enough. And that's the gratitude. I was going to also say about what we were saying in conversation, that gratitude speaks to our potential. It speaks to what we know we can do, what we were sent to do, and what we can create in the midst of anything. Gratitude speaks to our giving ourselves grace, because even in the awareness of having those moments, of the awareness of things that may have hurt us in the past, giving ourselves grace to say, I have everything I need at all times. That's also saying I am enough at all times.
Yeah.
I am beautiful and powerful at all times. And you see how I have everything I need at all times speaks to everything.
Yep.
It speaks to everything. It encompasses everything. So if we don't have a pen and paper to write down all the things that we're grateful for, or if we don't have things that take a pause, I think just saying that I have everything I need at all times really speaks to a real space, and it gathers a lot about you. Anybody have anything to say before I go further?
I agree. Yeah, I just wanted to touch a little bit on you know, a little bit about what Michael was talking about. And I think as adults, we have to realize that, you know, kids are mean, and hurt people, right? We don't know what those people went through at home on a daily basis and why they treated you that way. And that's not an excuse, but as adults, there's a lot of unlearning we have to do, right? We're not taught always these things when we're younger. We're not taught that we're enough. We're not taught to love ourselves. We're not taught to, you know, really dig deep within, right? A lot of the time we are looking for external validation. And then as a child, you grow up and you continue that kind of cycle. So as an adult, I learned, and I learned this like very recently, not even a long time ago, that you have to unlearn a lot of things, right? So unlearning that you're not enough so that you are able to, love yourself and be able to self-care in the proper way. So those things that have happened in the past don't continue to define your future and your life. So thank you, Michael, for sharing that. That's huge. And that's not something that a lot of people could or would share. But I want you to unlearn what you learned when you were being quote unquote bullied, and move forward from that. Because I know we've had a few interactions, and I know that you are enough, and you are better than that, and you are more, and you can move past that. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Stephanie, so much. Thank you so much, Micah, for being in the space of being transparent. I think that
Nikki, can I add something? I like the comment, I think it's Deanna put in the chat box too, about how like these people were just sucking power from you. It just kind of dawned on me too, like I've always struggled with, am I enough? But it's important to think of yourself like a battery. You need to recharge yourself constantly. Like I've never told myself maybe that's why they say gratitude journals are so wonderful, right? Because you're constantly reminding yourself of all that you have within yourself to sustain yourself. And I think that habit of creating a gratitude habit can help you from sliding back sometimes.
Yes. And I think too, and you guys, all that you're saying, as it says it, okay. And so what we do realize is that I am enough is the beautiful thing is it's a part of the gratitude. Mm-hmm. I am enough to recognize that I am enough. I am enough for that. I am enough to be who I am at all times. Let me, I want to read this one here. It says, those people bullying you, they were in need of power. That is why they bully, to pull from your power into themselves. It says everything about them being lesser. They are dead batteries of energy. Give them nothing that is yours. You are charged.
Yes.
You are charged. Wow. That's
Okay.
okay. That's devotes. That is the beauty about recognizing your own power. That, when you, like you, Stephanie, had said that hurt people, but people who don't feel powerful or feel powerless oftentimes look towards others to suck their power, to suck something, to drain them from what they see or what they inspire or what they are too afraid to acknowledge out loud. So they want to just, suck that. Oprah calls it energy vampires. They were powerless, really powerful dude that chop other people's heads off to feel tall. So it's so interesting, this conversation is speaking about, like I said, to speak to how we see ourselves, because I think that's what gratitude really allows us to be able to not just think about the thing or manifest things, or it's just really about well-being. It's the groundness of well-being of what gratitude really speaks to. I have this jar, and I started this jar of gratitude jar. And I think I use this, I created it because oftentimes I don't get a chance to often write in my journal about all the things that I'm grateful for. And then sometimes when I don't get a chance to do that, or I don't create the time to do it, then I'm judging myself about not doing it. So then I'm coming from a different place of the gratitude, because it's like, well, what, like, what's going on? So I did the gratitude jar because it allowed me to like put it away and put it down. And so that whether I forget to write, whether I forget to acknowledge when I see it, it already speaks to me to saying I have everything I need at all times, whether or not I go into it or not. So I would offer this to be the second way of creating more gratitude or grounding ourselves in our gratitude by creating and this is real small, and I like color. I love poppy color, so I wrote it on different construction paper, and it's just a matter of just grounding yourself in all of your gratitude. And like I said, you can either continue to put what things your gratitude for, or you can just take one if you're having a moment, or not, just to get the energy flowing and being grounded in that gratitude. I will share one. I am grateful for my life. And when I wrote that, I probably was just thinking about everything that has been in my life. Like, I'm grateful for it all the good, the not so good, the indifferent. I am grateful for my life. And that's, just is those things. And I wrote it in the chat, but I said in one of them, I said, I'm grateful for facing my fears. And I think, like I said, it's a whole, gratitude speaks to how we see ourselves. Gratitude speaks to our dreams. It speaks to our, what we inspire for, what we want to manifest. Gratitude speaks to our enoughness, and our enoughness at all times. There is no lack. There is no limitation. We are just an ever-flowing, beautiful possibility. Gratitude speaks to our potential. So I would give you guys to create your own gratitude jar. And because I'm an artist and I missed the stage, and I'm going to do a piece before we log off. Would you guys mind for me to perform a bit? I say just a thumbs up. So, okay. What I also am, one second. Let's see here. Okay, so when I was a little girl, my mother taught me her favorite words. She had me often say them on repeat. Baby girl, say thank you. Baby girl, say thank you. She said that it was a way to receive and give. As a little girl, all I wanted was butterscotch candy and my lemon pound cake that she would make on Sunday. Baby girl, say thank you. Life would fast forward and remind me that thank you would become more than just two words of my mother's favorite. It would be more than butterscotch candy and lemon pound cakes. Thank you would mean that I would see myself full, beautiful, powerful. Thank you would mean that I would say to the outside, to my creator, thank you for creating me. Thank you for believing me. Thank you for acknowledging me. Thank you for me. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for me. I would have that on repeat. Thank you for me. Thank you for the challenges that face my daily. Thank you for knowing that I can do it. Thank you for giving me a chance to do it. Thank you would become my favorite words. become something more than just words. It will be the way that I live, the way that I see the world, the way the world sees me. A fullness of gratitude would spill out like the sweetness of butterscotch candy and 7-Up lemon cake. Thank you would be my reason to showing up. Thank you would be my reason to believing. Thank you would be my reason to connecting and creating. Thank you would be my foot, my work, my way of seeing myself. I'm enough. That's it. Now, guys, you can give me a response, what you think, how you feel, what came up, that thing.
That was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. I got chills while you were speaking. But it's amazing to me how you were able to put those 2 words and make so much more of them.
Yes.
That was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think
Anyone
sometimes
else?
it's hard to say thank you for the hard things in life.
Mhm.
And if you just take that attitude that I'm thankful that I have that opportunity to face that challenge, it changes your whole perspective.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else?
I think that was wonderful. And just to sort of piggyback on what Karen says, it reminds you that you are enough. The challenges remind you that you do have what it takes to overcome. And also what you said about the gratitude jar. I know I'm somebody that journals quite a bit, and a lot of times people will be hard on themselves because they don't do it consistently. And really it doesn't have to be an everyday thing, but I think the gratitude jar is that visual that reminds you to take a moment to be grateful, or take a moment to just write down a few thoughts. So I think it's a great idea for everyone to consider.
Okay, very good. Anyone else? Let me see if you guys vote. Thank you.
I just love how you highlighted gratitude as just a way of being and walking in the world. There's just so much flow and beauty in that. Thank you.
It's also such a beautiful way to honor your mother.
And to have that moment, take a pause to honoring the mother. My mother made transition. I use the word transition versus pass on, but she transitioned about 6 years ago. And in how we learn from grief, I believe that what I've learned in her transition and what I've learned growing up is oftentimes it's the same thing. She is always reminding me to be thankful, to know that you have everything that you need. And even in her passing and even her transition, she reminds me, you have everything you need, especially when I'm having the moments where I'm not clear. But that's the beauty and the power of reminding yourself that you're all that you need. You know, my mother, prior to her making transition, she was a recovering addict, and she was 10 years clean. And I watched this woman rebuild her soul before she left this planet. And what's the beautiful thing about that is that she learning and or even speaking about gratitude and honoring my mother is remembering what it means to like show up no matter what, all the challenges that come your way. It's like believing that you have something to give. You always have something to give. Like you always have something to give. And I'm grateful for her being transparent enough to show me the truth of life and challenges and what it means to keep going and what it means to really embody thank you as a sense of way of being, as a way to walk. And that's the beauty, that's the powerful thing to honor, is remembering like, wow, is she, as a child, little girl, it was like, thank you was just a simple 2 words, but it was more than that. It was more than that. Let me see here. Let me go into the chat room. Okay. So, all right. Let me say this. What brings you joy?
This is gonna sound a little bit weird, but
Weird is good. Good.
I think peace actually brings me joy, if that makes sense. So when I have peace in my life, I feel joyful about life.
Yes. That sounds perfect.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect. That sounds like, yes, peace is everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think if you're not at peace with things going on in your life and things you're going through, that's when you lose a lot of other factors that you need.
Facts.
I agree. I agree.
What brings you joy?
Me personally,
No, anyone, everyone.
anybody? Okay. I have to think on that. So
What brings you joy?
Well, outside of family and friends, and health probably brings me great joy. I think the other thing is, we all know this, we work with students, and every day seeing students come in wondering and wandering and seeking, and us being able to just point them in the right direction, and then visually watching that. It's a beautiful thing. It just, you can't explain it. It's just a wonderful feeling. And I think we all know that if we're here. And that brings me joy.
A lot of what I'm grateful for, which I have gratitude for, is what brings me joy. But I love being outside. Like, it makes me so happy. It does fill me with joy to move my body, to take walks. It definitely kind of resets me to spend time outside walking every day.
Excellent. I think we have some chat. My 4 pet cats. Loving and spending time with my family. Being fully present in loving relationships. Ashe, okay. And I say what brings you joy repeatedly because that's gratitude. The good that you feel, the more you can feel grateful for that, for all. I think when you said, Morgan, when you said that, this may sound weird, but peace is like, it's like running river water. Like, when you can show up in life and in experiences and in a space of peace, of grounded in peace, it's like you become a magnet to all the good.
yes.
All the good that like goes in and out of you.
I agree.
Go ahead, Morgan.
I was just saying that I agree with you, and I think it's not just for some people too. I think it's for everybody, like mentally, that has peace in their life. They have a lot of other good factors too.
Excellent. Go ahead, Leslie.
Accomplishing something that was very hard, that you didn't think you could do, and finally feel confident at, I think brings me joy too. Doing things that come easily bring joy, but not the same kind of joy that struggling to learn a new skill or get better at something.
Mhm. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let me go into the chat room. Let me see. Connection, art, and nature. Very good, very good. Gratitude is simple. It's the simplest things. There's the smallest thing of gratitude. Just saying the words thank you is enough. It's enough to yourself. It's enough to saying it out loud to the universe, to the energy flow. Gratitude is the joy. I think that a lot of times, let me see here. I think a lot of times we forget that in which we're happy or that in which we're grateful for can bring us the joy, the well-being. Hence why it said early on, and I'm grateful for having this awareness, is that gratitude is the blueprint to my well-being. It impacts everything. It impacts everything. And I charge you all on your day-to-day and any moments of time, and that you often remind yourself that I have everything I need at all times. I have everything I need at all times. And that, I think that will ground you, that will give you, reset you, where you don't have to feel like you have to figure all the things out. I think it's important to know that at any given moment, you lack nothing. You lack nothing. That's a beautiful awareness to have about yourself, that you have everything on the inside of you. Like, you have access to like everything on the inside of you. So you're always accessible to that. You guys, anybody have any questions, any more comments that they would like to share?
I was just going to add, I think everybody's grateful that we had this opportunity with you today, Nikki. Because sometimes
Definitely.
it's just stepping back and letting somebody else point out maybe a few obvious things that we forget to think about occasionally. So fantastic. Does anybody have any other comments for Nikki before we stop the recording?
No, I just want to say thank you so much, Nikki. I always appreciate you joining us, and you always definitely leave an impression. So thank you.
Very good. Now, before we, would I be able to take a picture of you guys with my phone?
Sure.
And you guys,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
if anybody else wants to turn on their cameras for Nikki.
just turn them on, give me say the word gratitude on 3, and then just like, yeah. All right.
Awesome.
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
Gratitude.
Thank you guys so much.
Take care, everyone. I have to hop off for an 11 o'clock. I'll see you guys later.
Wonderful. And
All
everybody knows
right.
Nikki comes back to us one more time on Wednesday, December 1st. Our last leadership topic with Nikki is grit and resiliency. So we're going to see you right before we wrap up the semester about grinding things out for the end of the year. So we're excited to see you then.
Excellent, 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 guys. Enjoy